Hi, and welcome to the Superfan Strategy. I am so excited to be talking to you today about the interwoven worlds of music and entrepreneurship, and when an artist takes this path, how it can lead to a life of freedom and influence and success, whatever that may mean to you, which we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes. First, I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Rachel. I worked in the mostly in the Nashville music industry for nearly 10 years, mostly in local radio stations. I held the title of music director, artist relations, radio booking. I was well on my way to big things within the music industry before life came crashing down with COVID, and I went to live my best surfer girl life on the island of Kauai. I took about a 5-year hiatus from the music industry, and in that time, I dove into entrepreneurship, specifically online social media based entrepreneurship, where I started multiple businesses and was able to financially provide for my family. Over a 3-year period, I moved well over $100,000 through an Instagram account that had less than 5,000 followers. And I didn't have music as a superpower of attraction. So if I can do that, I have huge visions and a deep understanding of what you are actually capable of as an artist when correctly using and leveraging social media, which is a huge part of the Superfan strategy that we're going to talk about today. So the Superfan strategy is what I take all of my clients through. It is about finding your authentic brand, learning how to bring that brand onto social media. Your social media is not your brand. It is a place, it is a stage to showcase your social media and to deeply connect, to begin connecting with your fans. I then teach artists how to actually monetize that following through deep connection, community, authenticity, and seeing themselves as the art, and seeing that fans don't just want your music, they want you. Fans don't just love your music, they love the person, the artist, the creator behind the music, and that is the secret to building a business as an artist that is actually that will actually provide for you, that will actually guide you to whatever success means to you. And we do all of this without a label, without a publisher, without all of these like music industry conglomerates and corporations that take a lot of your profit, your money. So I'll say this real quick. You are going to hear me talk about money quite a bit today. I am not afraid of money, and I do consider myself both a creative and a businesswoman. I have done a lot of work in the world of looking money in the face and seeing money for what it is and addressing money wounds, which is a very important process within the entrepreneurial path. It's something that I certainly guide all of my artists through. We've got identity transformation and money work all woven into the path of working with me. So I know that you don't create music to make money. I know that you don't create music to make money, but you also need money in order to create music, especially in order to create music that is actually heard by the people that need to hear it, right? Because your music is a vessel for the messages and the reflections that you were brought on earth to share with the people. Artists are teachers and artists are leaders. And I believe that when we put money, a lot of money, in the hands of heart-led, soul-led teachers and leaders, we will see the change on earth that we want to see. We will start to live on earth and within a society that we feel is in alignment and that we think is beautiful and right and good, right? So money is a tool that amplifies the impact that you are able to make as a teacher, as a leader, as an artist. So with that being said, in 2024, Goldman Sachs has said there is $4.5 billion worth of untouched revenue from superfans. And today, I am going to give you a strategy that will allow you to tap into that untouched $4.5 billion directly. So that means, again, no label, no middleman. This is all a creation of your own that you will retain 100% of the profits and make more impact on more people than ever before. Okay? So before we dig in, I want you to just pause this video for a second and take a moment and get very clear on your definition of success. What does success mean to you? Is it fame? Is it millions of people knowing the words to your songs? Is it sold out shows? Is it touring the world? Is it being able to financially provide for yourself and your family just through your music with no second job? And if that's the case, how much money do you need to be making per month from your music to consider yourself successful? I really want you to answer that question. How much money do you need to be making per month from your music for you to consider yourself successful? Is success the ability to live anywhere and make a living from your music? Is success the ability to stay home with your children and your spouse and be able to make a living from your music? Is success to you being able to travel the world and make a living from your music, right? What does success look to you? If you get nothing else from this masterclass today, I want you to walk away with a clear picture and vision of what success means to you. Because if you do not know where you're trying to get, you are never going to get there, okay? So what I'm about to spell out to you in this masterclass, and what I've already begun spelling out to you, is a path where you are in complete control. Freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, creation freedom, creative sovereignty is what I like to call it, right? When you are signed to a label, they have a lot of power over your creative process, over what gets released into the world, when you're making music, all of it, right? So I've always had a problem with that. And listen, I'm not totally bashing labels. I know many people that work for labels, and there are good people that work at labels. I have no doubt about that. And like the original mission of a label, I believe, is good, but like most industries this day and age, things have gotten skewed, and now they're just taking a lot of your money, which means they're taking a lot of your freedom. You're going to hear me interchange those words a lot in this masterclass. Money and freedom, they are the same thing. You get freedom by having money. So I am on a mission to help the artist create a path for themselves where freedom is the name of the game, and freedom is the outcome. Now, this path will require intrinsic motivation, self-motivation. It will require a very strong vision, and it will require you to be dedicated to your work. I don't like to use hard work because, quite honestly, I believe you can like build this type of business with about 2 hours a day. In the beginning, it might be, there might be some 4-hour days or some 6-hour days. Obviously, the more time that you put into it, the quicker it's going to move. But I am a single mom, and I have been able to build this business. I'm still in the process of building this business. I've built for the past 3 years these businesses without having to put my child into daycare. I spend a lot of time with my child, and I get so that when it's time, when I have a moment to work or an hour to work, I'm like, boom, dialed in. I'm stoked to work, right? And I get a lot done. So that is what I see as dedicated work, not necessarily hard work. This can all be easy. Like this is all a formulaic strategy that those in the creator economy, which is what you call pretty much everyone that's using social media as a place to build their businesses, brands, or to be an influencer, or just to move money. The creative economy has been booming for 5 years now, and for whatever reason, the world of music and art has not quite caught up with how to monetize has not caught up with how to interweave themselves with the creative economy. And that is what I am doing with you today. So something I want you to understand is that no one will ever care about your art and your music as much as you do. Meaning that you cannot pay anyone to do your marketing as well as you can. You can outsource, you can hire, you can pay people to do a lot of things for you, but your marketing should not be one of them. Yes, that means you're going to be making content for a while. And when you work with me, one of the very first things that I address in my identity transformation part of my framework and my program is addressing this belief that content is bad, or that content is a chore, or that content isn't art. That is a belief that you have created for yourself. And that means you have the power to rework that belief and see content as an opportunity. Because content is a place for you to bring your authentic self through and reach millions, if not billions of people from the comfort of your bedroom. As an artist, I just don't know what else you could want, right? Like, you don't have to get on stage every single night to reach your fans now. You can reach your fans from the comfort of your bedroom, from the comfort of your countryside home, from the comfort of your kid's bedroom, right? Like, after you've put them to bed. Traveling the world. Their content has made so much possible. You don't have to tour yourself into the ground anymore. Content is the greatest marketing tool the world has ever seen, and it's an opportunity. And I know that you might have a hard time downloading that right now. In my course, when you work with me, I give you lots of somatic and meditative trainings to help you shift that perspective. So, another perspective that you'll need to shift in order to succeed on this entrepreneurial path is that you're not just here to make music. If you're still in that mindset, that's okay. I'm glad that you're here, but let's read the writing on the wall. Your music is a vessel for your soul's purpose and your soul's message. Again, musicians and artists are here to be teachers and leaders. So your music is the vessel for what you're meant to be teaching. You're not just meant to make music. You're meant to get your music heard by the people that are meant to hear your music. And let's read the writing on the wall here. These artists, Bob Dylan, Dolly Parton, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Taylor Swift, Brandi Carlile, Casey Musgraves, some of the biggest of our time, none of them are just making music. The most influential artists are not just making music. They are entrepreneurs. They are business people. They are core members of their team. I've seen videos of Taylor Swift talking about this, that a lot of artists think that it's just getting up on stage and writing songs in your bedroom, but actually you're in the boardroom with your team. You're managing people. You're coming up with the marketing. You're getting your brand out to the world. There's a lot of nitty-gritty things to being a successful artist that goes far beyond just making music. So let's talk business, all right? Has anyone here heard of Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans essay? It's published in 2008. It is essentially the basis of my superfan strategy. I actually didn't know about it until after I had come up with my strategy. But it spells out perfectly everything that I intuitively came up with through my own research and development and entrepreneurial journey, right? So a true fan, who I call a super fan, is a fan that will buy anything you produce, right? Whether it's a show, they're the fan that drives 10 hours to see your show. They're the fan that has every piece of your merch. They're the fan that buys your book if you write a book. They're the fan that you probably know because they've been communicating with you and came to your shows when you were a nobody. The super fan, you know them. You probably have them already. Even if you only have a few, I bet you have at least a few. So let's see here. Create enough every year that each true fan spends. Right. So a true fan how you like monetize a true fan is that you create enough every year for a true fan to spend $100, right? And that makes $100,000 a year for you. And that, truthfully, is just scratching the surface. Like, this is written back in 2008. Obviously, inflation is real. $100,000, while a lot of money, isn't that much money these days. And it could just be like, that could just be like one stream of revenue from a true fan, right? And in the business world, we're always looking at multiple streams of revenue. Anyway, I digress. It is always easier and better to give your existing customers more than try to find new fans. So this is also a huge concept in the world of business. It is much more lucrative to keep creating and selling to the same people that already love you, that already trust you, and just giving them new value than it is to try to constantly find new fans to sell the same thing to. All right, and we'll just continue on here. So these are key concepts coming, like business concepts coming from Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans essay, which is specifically about artists making direct-to-fan sales and creating a career for themselves, if I didn't spell that out earlier. Whoops. So direct contact with the consumer is crucial for this business strategy, this business model to work, as it allows the creator to keep 100% of the revenue. This is like a new thing that's coming about, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger with social media. There's more software coming out that makes this easier, like every day. I personally use one called Stan Store, where people can buy anything from me right there, right in my link in bio, right? And nobody gets any of that money except for me. Another key concept here is in the peer-to-peer network, the most obscure is one click away from the most popular. So this is huge, right? This means you don't have to be this mega superstar to make tons of money, right? You can be an obscure indie artist, and you can go viral. You can have a system and strategy set up where when you go viral, you're ready for all of these eyes on you, and you can funnel them into your world and capture them as super fans, which is what we're going to get into in just a minute. And so just like the last takeaway that I want to bring up from this essay, which again, is like truly just the overview of this entire business model, is that the large corporations and commercial producers are not well equipped for connection, and you are. Big brands have to act human. You are human, and connection is the name of this game. Superfans is all about connections. I just read this quick excerpt that I just love from this essay. It says, if you lived in any of the 2 million small towns on earth, you might be the only one in your town to crave death metal music or get turned on by whispering or want a left-handed fishing reel. Before the web, you'd never be able to satisfy that desire. You'd be alone in your fascination. But now satisfaction is only one click away. Whatever your interests as a creator are, your 1,000 true fans are one click from you. As far as I can tell, there is nothing, no product, no idea, no desire without a fan base on the internet. Everything made or thought of can interest at least one person in a million, and that's a low bar. Yet if even only 1 out of 1 million people were interested, that's potentially 7,000 people on the planet. That means that any 1 in a million appeal can find 1,000 true fans. The trick is to practically find those fans, or more accurately, to have them find you. So like this article was written in 2008. Instagram did not come out until 2010. So he didn't even know what he was anticipating, right? So he calls them true fans. I call them super fans. 1,000 of them is just scratching the surface now that we have social media. It's very likely that you already have more than 1,000 followers on social media. Now, does that mean that they're a super fan? Probably not. And that is what we're about to get into, how to turn a regular fan or a follower into a super fan. I skipped this part here, but social media, it's completely leveled the playing field. You're now just as powerful and capable of distribution as the major labels. I want you to feel that. With social media, with a proven strategy and systems on social media, plus your authentic expression and your strong dialed in brand, you are now just as powerful and capable of reaching the masses as the major labels are. And I'd argue you're even more capable because, the major labels, they don't know how to facilitate connection. You're human. Human to human connection is everything. All right. So how do you turn a fan into a super fan? First, let's talk about this. Understand that your music is your marketing and you are the art. And music is something, it's magic, right? Music is magic. Music connects with people on a level that nothing else in the world can connect, which means can touch, right? So that means that music is the most powerful marketing in the world. And you've got social media. That's the most powerful marketing tool in the world. So together, they're pretty much unstoppable, right? So the reason I say, and I don't want this to discourage you that like your music is your marketing, right? But it's true. And it's empowering because that makes you the art. You're the artist. You're the art. You are what people want. You're not selling your music. Your music is what is attracting people to you. You're going to sell access to you. You want people to, super fans will pay to feel close to you. Super fans will pay a lot more to feel like they know you. And they'll pay a lot more to feel like you know them. So that's like really what we're working with here. All right. You have 3 people in your audience. You've got your cold audience, your warm audience, and your hot audience. Your cold audience is everyone that doesn't follow you, plus like your new followers that are still feeling you out. Your warm audience is everyone on your email list. If you do not have an email list, stop right now and go open an email list. There's free ones, there's cheap ones. Email has ruled sales for the last 20 years. And I want you to think about it this way. Like when you get on social media, you're like in your bed, you're in your sweatpants. You're not really looking to buy anything, right? You're just like scrolling. But when you're on your email, you've got like, you might be sitting up, you might be at your computer, you might be at work. You're just in a little bit more of this like business mindset, which is much more of like a buying mindset. So email, it's very, very important to funnel your audience into an email list. And that is where you hold like, it's moving from a rented audience on social media to an owned audience on your email list, right? You've got a ticket into there. You've got the key to their front door once you have an email list. And this day and age, you can also have like a phone number list. There's plenty of software out there that will gather both email and phone number from your fans, soon to be super fans. Don't sleep on the email list. We're gonna talk about this in just a moment, how to get them onto your email. So cold, warm, then your hot fans. Your hot fans are your super fans. They're obsessed with you. They like, all they need is one email that says you're gonna be playing here, or that you're offering this on Tuesday night, or that they have an opportunity to jump on Zoom and do a dance lesson with you, or like cook your favorite meal with you, or do like a women's circle with you. All they need is like one email. They see that and they're going to buy it. And that is what we want. So cold, warm, hot. How do we get people from cold to warm to hot? The secret for cold to warm is always going to be connection. And on social media, that looks like sharing your unfiltered story and your vision. That's simple. Okay. And then part 2 of that is automation, which I know doesn't sound like connection, but when used properly, when used with a strategy and with systems, automation allows you to connect with hundreds of thousands of people and build real relationships that are going to take them to that hot audience. So the way that we do this connection to automation to hot audience is a little thing that in the business world we call funnels. I am going to walk you through how to build a funnel that's going to take your audience from cold to either like seriously warm or like hot, okay? A funnel is something you set up once and it will run. It will just keep running. So it's a system that you put one-time upfront effort into, and then it's running behind the scenes, facilitating connection, facilitating community when you are off, writing music. Here's what a funnel looks like. It starts with your content. It starts with your unfiltered story, your vision, your music. In the caption or in the on-screen messaging, you're going to use a CTA, which is a call to action. This looks like, let's say the name of your song is Fireflies. And you're going to say, drop Fireflies in the comments and I will send you an unreleased demo in your DMs, right? And there's better language than that. I'm thinking about this on the fly. But essentially, you're asking someone to do something where they're going to get something in return. We do this in the caption. We do this in the on-screen messaging. And when they put in that keyword, when they drop Fireflies in the comment, you have an automation set up either through ManyChats or StanStore. Those are the two like automated DM softwares that are widely available right now. They drop that word Fireflies and that automation immediately drops into their DMs something like a message that says, hey, saw you comment on my post. Here's the link for you to get that unreleased demo. They're going to click on that link. That link is going to prompt them to, this is the opt-in part of the funnel. That link is going to prompt them to put their email address, maybe their phone number in. And when they do, they are now added to your email list. They will immediately, via an automation, get an email in their inbox that has the download to that unreleased demo. And now because they're on your email list, they are now going to get what's called an email nurture sequence or a drip sequence, which is, again, something you put effort into once. It is probably 7 to 10 emails that you have written once. And when they do this opt-in, they put their email in. Now they are going to get that nurture sequence in the sequence that you set. So maybe you've written 7 emails and you want them to get those emails over a 2-week period. You're going to set that to be that way. So no matter at what time anyone puts their email in over the next 2 weeks, they're going to get this email nurture sequence. Now, what is in an email nurture sequence? This is the connection part, right? So this is where you want to like put your best foot forward. You're basically going on a first date, second date, third date, 7th date, right? You are showing them who you are, what your core values are, what stories do your fans like absolutely need to hear from your life, right? Like what songs do they need to hear? Do you have another like secret download? Do you want them to help you choose your next single, right? So in this 7 to 10 email nurture sequence, you are working them through basically another funnel where with every email that they're reading, they're like, wow, I know this person. I feel connected to this person. I understand this person's value system. And by the end, they feel like you're not some artist on the internet. They feel like they're your friend. They feel like they're in your community. And so now you've got them very, very warm, right? And this is where you can start to, or this is also where you would start to make sales. Okay, and what might you be selling? I mentioned this earlier, but I want you to move away from this mindset of that like you're selling your music. You are not selling your music, you're selling access to you, right? Or you are asking for support. Now, I know that is like an ego thing, but I have seen many, artists that have created podcasts maybe, and then they've got a Patreon for their podcast where it's like, hey, donate $6, the price of a coffee. This keeps this podcast, this pays for this content essentially. So you could say that you could have, you could ask your fans, hey, join my $6 a week Patreon that helps me, that pays for me to be a full-time musician. I understand that might not sound good to some of you. It will work. There are so many options here, right? I mentioned earlier, you could have, maybe you're an incredible two-stepper, right? Maybe you really love to two-step. Maybe you have monthly Zoom calls with your full band. You've figured out, the microphone setup, and you host group Zoom call-based two-step lessons that has, it's infinitely scalable. What if it's $30 a month? And what if 1,000 people sign up, right? What's that math? $30,000 a month from teaching maybe a bi-weekly two-step lesson? That's what's possible here, you guys. And I don't personally know, every single one of you has, again, a purpose and a message. Maybe it's not dance. Maybe your music appeals to a target market of young men that are moving through this rite of passage of going from adolescent to man, and it's confusing, and maybe they don't know how to talk to women and they don't know how to relate to women. Maybe that is who your music connects with, and so you're going to hold a men's circle twice a month or once a month, and it costs $50, $20, $5, whatever you want, whatever you feel the value is. And as things grow, you can always increase price of your offerings once you get people in and you understand what people want. So this is what a funnel leads to. And I'm sure there's some of you that are like, just getting them on my email list, is that really gonna get people to a place where they want to buy from me? And the answer is yes, because with an email list, you have an entirely different relationship with your email list than your Instagram or your YouTube or your TikTok following. They are in your world. You are giving them more energy. You are giving them deeper looks into you, longer form. You're offering them secret things that only your email list gets. You're bringing them along on the journey. You're telling them maybe things you don't feel comfortable telling on social media. You're maybe giving them free opportunities to gather with you on a Zoom call or something that lead into the paid opportunities. There's lots of strategy here on how to, again, make these audience members go from cold to warm to hot. I'm just walking you through really just how to build the system that allows for a smooth and constant influx of new cold audience flowing into warm, flowing into hot. So I'm almost done here. I will quickly talk about how, so this first funnel that I explained to you is what we would call an organic content funnel. So it starts with your organic content, which is a reel, a post, a TikTok, a YouTube video. But there is obviously the option for the paid ad funnel using meta ads. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the exact same. Meta ads, they get an opt-in link in their DMs that leads to, I would call it, the lead magnet. That's that special download that they get when they give you their email, and then the email nurture sequence. So paid ads, obviously the pro of paid ads is that you're not making content every day, and ads are much more targeted. So there is a huge strategy and a huge plus side of paid ads. I'm a fan. Don't do paid ads if you've never done them before. You need someone to teach you how to do paid ads. Because you will waste a lot of money figuring it out. I have gone through extensive trainings with paid ads and feel very confident in how to run a targeted ad at this point. And then lastly, there's the warm outreach funnel. So this is no content, no ads, just simply sending DMs to your followers. There is a strategy here. You don't just want to say, hey, I make music. Do you like me? Do you want to hear it? Here's my Spotify link. You want to be, you want to offer them something. You want to use access words. You want to invite them in, give them the opportunity to say yes. You never just want to like be like, here's the link. Do you want it? So there's a lot of strategy in all of this, but this is a way that you can use funnels, 3 different ways: warm outreach, DM, paid ads, organic content, for a way to use this type of funnel that moves your audience from cold to warm to hot. So that's really what I wanted to go over with y'all today. I hope that this was helpful. I feel confident that this was helpful. If you would like to work with me on building this type of business for you, I am available for that. You can follow me on Instagram, anewdream.rach, even though you see here it says Old Lands. That is my old Instagram. That's a bummer that that's there. But oh well, anewdream.rach is the best way to reach me, although you can reach me at Old Lands as well. And I would be happy to talk to you about how we can work together and build you a business that creates freedom and influence and success, because that's what you deserve. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and I will see you out there.